Now, many years ago, when I was doing a lot of my brain research, I was fascinated with why some people who had goals achieved them and other people who had goals didn't. I looked at people who were working in my company. There was a point where I had 1,500 salespersons, people, working for me at Remax of Indiana. And I was fascinated as to why we could give our real estate agents books, cassette tapes back then, speakers, motivational events that we did. And some people would get so motivated and they would take action for a day or two or three, and then they would stop. And then other people would take action and continue all the way through until they achieved their goals. And there was another group that actually never took any action, even though they were motivated and excited when they were learning the content. And something that became really evident to me after we did a study and a program for 6 months to try and get people to set goals and achieve goals was that the people who took this one action every single day were the ones who achieved their goals and dreams more often than anybody else. And that one action was something that I call, and neuroscientists call, cognitive priming. Now, cognitive priming just means that the people who learn how to prime their brain every single day to take the actions that they should take, the people who prime their brain to visualize the obstacles that are in the way of their goals and visualize them overcoming their obstacles because they've created a plan and thought about it in advance, are the ones that achieve the goals and dreams that they set. And so there's a process that I thought about from somebody else's work, and I call it goop it up. Goop it up. And this simple little process is all about setting a goal and then writing down all of the obstacles that could come in your way from achieving that goal. So you could have an obstacle around what you believe. You could have an obstacle of other people. You could have an obstacle that you don't have the knowledge or the skills. But if you have a goal and you write down the obstacles and then you use the powerful, amazing brain that you've got to visualize yourself meeting the obstacle and figuring out a way to overcome the obstacle, your brain starts to work in your advantage and starts to believe that you can actually achieve the goal and overcome the obstacles. And then when you take some time to create a plan of what you can do today for, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes to move you towards that goal. So you start what I call is a tiny habit, a tiny actionable habit every day towards that goal. Now you've got the goal, the obstacles, you have the outcomes that you want to achieve by seeing yourself overcome the obstacles. And then if you create a short, smart plan where you're taking action 10 or 15 minutes a day towards achieving that goal, that is part of the goop it up plan for being able to achieve your goals and dreams. And so take a few moments and just write down one goal, then write down 3 or 4 or 5 obstacles that could come in your way. Then you write down, all right, the outcomes that you want, and you visualize yourself overcoming the obstacles by closing your eyes and just seeing that obstacle in front of you, and then you jumping over it, you reaching over it, you figuring out the problem, you getting help to achieve that goal. And then you create a small plan, a tiny habit that you move towards by taking action every day. And when you do that, you're going to give your brain all of the power that it needs in order to help you figure out how to overcome the obstacles. the part of your brain that starts getting activated is known as the left prefrontal cortex. And when you activate this genius part of your brain, it'll help you figure out how to overcome the obstacles. So every one of us who's a goal achiever sets goals, but very few people think about the obstacles that are there and them overcoming the obstacles. And in order to become an amazing goal achiever, you have to accept the fact that there will be obstacles, but you also have to prime your brain to recognize the obstacles and to teach it that you can overcome it. And you can do that in your mind first, and you back it up with a plan. And guess what? You will start to become a goal achiever instead of just somebody who sets a goal.